if people don't like J-Lo like we do, this is not the place for you, but that's how we roll.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so my last question is just typically saying, what do you like about J-Lo? Which is going to be not work. I'm going to have to reword it because for everyone else, that's what they get. But since you like her already and we talk about her so much, I'm going to say, what J-Lo project do you think inspired you the most?
Oh, man. What J-Lo project inspired me the most? That's so hard. I think right off the bat, I'll say Selena, and I guess that might be a given because of the time that it came out and then what she did. And again, she got so much flack for it in the media, and then she just killed it. And what a beautiful story and homage to Selena. That has to be my favorite to kind of start it all. Yeah, there's so many, so that's so hard.
I know, and I typically don't do the most thing, but I'm like, since you're such an aficionado like I am, I'm like, she'll probably have a really good answer if I tighten it up. And let me tell you, the reason I know you're into her, and this is not a joke, like you really are into her, is because every time I go on Instagram to like a J-Lo picture, I feel like you've already been there, or vice versa. I'm always like, I'll see this new image or this new product campaign or a new J-Lo TV show, whatever it is, and Val will already be in there in the comments, and I'm like, makes sense.
I don't know if anybody remembers this, and I still have a sweater from it, but like she used to have like clothes and shoes. Like I had J-Lo sneakers and like J-Lo clothes that like I have a sweater that I actually did the J-Lo Super Bowl TikTok challenge, and I used my little sweater in it. But I'm like, I've had her perfume, like just all the things I love.
Could you imagine what type of role you would want to play if you ever got a chance to be in a film with her?
Her sister of some sort, maybe in some kind of like investigative something. I really love a lot of things she's done, but I really liked, and of course now I'm gonna blank, the show that she did, the TV series, with
dancers?
No, it was a drama.
It was called Blue, something Blue. With
Shades of Blue.
Ray Liotta, yes, yeah.
Shades of Blue. I love that show. Like if I could have picked a role for me to play, it would be something like that. And so if I did something with her along those lines, that would be so fun.
Yeah, that was a good role for her because I think at least what was stated was she was more on the executive producer side originally. And it was just like, well, wait a minute. This is a role that has like a lot of meat and potatoes. And if you watch that show, I watched it quite a bit. I think I fell off a little bit, but I definitely watched every single one of the first seasons. And it was different than what you would think. It was procedural, but like it was also a lot of different things to it. She's fantastic. When I locate my favorite moment, I mean, obviously the Selena one is the set it off point. I also like the moment where I guess vulnerability is always big to me. I like the moment where she bounced back because like J-Lo's, so successful and all the money in the world, you could do whatever you want kind of a thing. People forget, you got feelings. And she oftentimes from her book and from the rock doc that she had called Dance Again, she talks a lot about how that Mark Anthony breakup, yet with the two kids, feeling almost, not my words, her words, feeling like a failure. Mm-hmm. When she expressed it in that way from the book and from the rock doc, I'm like, you could really feel it. I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I often think she's a robot. She just powers through. But, that's quite embarrassing. Not my words. You've lost the relationship. You got these two kids. What do I do now? And her ability to bounce back is what we love. So anyways, if people don't like J-Lo like we do, this is not the place for you, but that's how we roll.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I read that book when I was going through a lot of my things. And I felt that book so much. I was like, yes, girl, I know.
Yeah, because almost like she expressed the thing of like her own personal validation or something like that.
Absolutely. It's totally that. Yeah.
And I remember so many times in my life, it's like, oh, you could be your worst enemy in that way and you'll talk yourself out of everything. So, yeah, I mean, anyone who tells me exactly what you had stated earlier, how like maybe her singing is not up to par, okay, fine. Even if you want to say that, talk about the resiliency of this woman. So, and people like you and I are going to just be continuing this career. We need to have a source of inspiration. Why not? I want you to tell me one nice thing about my queen, J-Lo. Then you can say more than one, but I know some people don't love her as much as I do, and I don't understand that.
Some
So
people,
let me let you go.
this really is randomly, isn't it? Favorite things about J-Lo. So I think I told you before, Will Smith works with my acting coach, Aaron Spicer, who's on all his things, and J-Lo does as well. And he's talked really highly about her career. She's come about. I love how honest and truthful, and I'll go back to you talking about reinventing yourselves. She is probably the queen of that, in my opinion, just being able to, I know you said Joan Rivers before. I think she's right up there with her, being able to do the music, do the acting, do these different things, and coming from as a dancer, she's really had a career of doing what she loves to do and being really great at it. So she's a superstar. And I love it. It's really cool to watch her do whatever they're doing, whether it's like a TikTok in their living room now during this time. But she feels like one of the most authentic people. And she did. I don't think I waited on her when I was waiting tables back in the day. She came in, and you can just feel her in a room, and she's she's just a great person.
And for those people who don't like her for whatever reason, I'm not gonna not
like J-Lo.
I'm not gonna. I mean, there's some, and I'm not gonna allow you not to have your perspective. That's fine. But I will say one thing to think about with J-Lo. I just talk about her a lot because I, pretty much consume a lot of her content. But more so, you have to think like, if she, because she always gets that critique, like, well, she's not vocally, and she's not the best actress. Okay, that's life, right? But she definitely comes to win at every project, and she definitely has managed to sustain it. So there is something to be said about that.
Hola, papi.
Yeah.
Besos.
We got to take those moments to show the love. Okay, last question. You know what it is, probably. Okay. I always ask everyone to say something. What is their greatest or nice thing you could say about J-Lo? Because she is my queen. So give me some great J-Lo.
J-Lo, Selena's my favorite movie of all time. I've seen it like 30-something times. It's like, that's her best performance she's ever had. Made in Manhattan too, don't get me started. But I actually just watched a live with her and Reese Witherspoon like a few days ago, and they were talking about Ryan Heffington's dance class, which is something I do almost on the daily. So that was exciting to know that me and Reese Witherspoon and J-Lo have the same workout routine.
All right. I like it. I wrap almost every show by asking whether you guys love her like I do. She's my queen. Say one cool ass thing about J-Lo.
Oh my God, I have every J-Lo album out. Okay. Let's see. For me, I feel like she's somebody that could put out an album every year, and I'm mad that she doesn't. That's probably that's a compliment, but it's something I'm mad at.
I'm with it. People laugh at me because I'm so gassed by her, and it's like, oh, but can she vocally sing? I'm like, you know what? For somebody to honor Selena's legacy the way she did, but then also to create her own thing, like that's kind of something that does not happen every day. It's that passion that I look to on my darkest days where I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing creative-wise? So that's why I talk about J-Lo quite a bit, which you're still on that journey. My last question to you, this is going to be an easy one. I ask everybody to tell me something amazing about J-Lo. So you can do what you want with it.
I mean, listen, if anybody watched her Super Bowl performance, like 50 years old, not skipping a beat, I lose my breath when I'm walking up the stairs. Like, she was going, like, I can't tell you when I watched that in a bar, I was screaming. Like, I was like, ah! I mean, that performance was everything.
I was so nervous as a J-Lo fan. Like, I was like, and all credit to her nerve and her audacity and the gall. I mean, to go on after Shakira, like Shakira is multi-hyphenated. And I was like, oh my God, J-Lo, you got the nerve. And I was worried. I felt like my heart was beating. And for her to do what she did, it's just, it's why I always look to her as somebody motivating. Because I think we sometimes as people talk ourselves down, like we don't deserve certain things. And I know there's mixed emotions about J-Lo, but for me, I use that as when I get into my lame Ronnie moments, I'm like, no, you better put that J-Lo glow on it and do what you do. So
Yes, no, it's so true. Yeah, I really respect like her work ethic, how she's also been able to reinvent herself, and yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like she is a performer, and I think that's why like I love her so much, is I love performing too, and I'm just like, yeah, like get it. And the fact that she's 50 doing that, like it just gives me like, I don't know, it should give all women like a sense of empowerment. We're always so focused on like, oh, you lose it after you're 30. Like, J-Lo said, no, you don't.
And also because I look up to a J-Lo, can you tell me one nice thing about J-Lo real quick? I just make everyone do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the best thing about J-Lo is she doesn't seem to take herself as seriously as the Beyoncés of the world do. And I really like that. She seems to still be able to do it with class. And she's really made a really long career for herself. I remember when she first came out with her first single, nobody thought this girl was going to last. No one. And I'm just really happy to see what she's done with everything.
Yeah.
And so J-Lo's awesome.
Do you remember the guy who was in the music video? That was Adam Rodriguez from CSI Miami. I guess they used to date. All right.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
You just asked me any J-Lo information. I usually got you locked down. No worries. That'll be my next podcast.
I'll take it.
Say something positive or uplifting about J-Lo because she is my queen. So what's your J-Lo commentary?
Well, I would say that was the biggest snub of the damn Oscar season, was that garbage came through and her name was not on the final five, because I watched Hustlers again and you cannot even tell me that wasn't a performance that merited that consideration, because absolutely it was. And then for her to, bounce back from what had to be a huge blow to fucking destroy the Super Bowl in what I think was one of the best Super Bowl halftime performances of all time. And
was there a football game that day?
Well, you couldn't tell me there was. It was a J-Lo concert featuring Shakira for sure. They were both unbelievable, and I actually recently just watched Selena again, and she was deserving of a nomination for that. I think that was a Star is Born moment, and I literally recently actually watched Monster-in-Law, which I love, and I'm a J-Lo stan, and that woman,
rightfully so.
For me, she is an example of what hard work can truly achieve, and she truly came from, I'm a 6, baby. Like, I've been a fan since the very beginning.
Oh yeah. Do you remember?
I absolutely stan.
Do you remember the first music video? Adam Rodriguez from CSI Miami was in the video.
Was that for If You Had My Love?
Yes, and I guess.
Bro, I'm a stan. Like, I remember I had on the 6, I would be. I mean, I was living for No Me Ames. Like, I knew. That was the original Mark Anthony and Jennifer Lopez collaboration. Waiting for Tonight, I said she owns that green light. No one can do that green light except her. And when she came out of the Super Bowl and you saw that green light, you knew exactly what song it was going to be. And I live for her. Yeah. Let's get loud.
I always say Super Bowl, she had the nerve, she had the audacity, she had the gall. Like, to go on after Shakira, like J-Lo, like I was a little nervous, but that's just her. She carries
Those are two of the best live performers in the world.
So good.
Sure.
All right.
And I also thought it was incredible, that show of the flag, of the Puerto Rican flag.
Yes.
And just such a moment. I mean, what a hero for her. She was really showing love, and that was huge.
Yeah, no, J-Lo stand to J-Lo stand for sure. I always talk about her. It's longevity. It's like, even thinking about like a Joan Rivers, like people who have career reinventions, and I think J-Lo gives that.
J-Lo is excellence. I mean, she is excellence.
I'm going to end on something that it may make you tickle a little bit, because I know you don't necessarily think the same as me, but because this particular platform is all about like motivation, dedication, career longevity, these are the stories I enjoy almost more than pop culture. But she is my queen, so I want you to tell me something cool or nice about J-Lo. That is how I end almost every show, Erin. I don't know if you love J-Lo like I love J-Lo, but tell me what you think.
Oh man. I mean,
be critical too. I don't care. We've talked off camera about this.
Yeah, in terms of J-Lo, I think for me, that's a good question. It's funny because it's like I don't necessarily I don't criticize J-Lo, but for me, like, I don't. For me, I think she's not like the artist or the individual that I constantly look at. But what I can say is she is an investor in esports, so I thought that was cool.
And when I see J-Lo, I'm like, you know, as long as she wasn't like arrogant or mean about it or whatever. But when I see her not talking herself down, you know, that's what excites me, because I think we all do it. I don't know if you do it as much, but I know that I've done it where I'm like, I put the you know, obstacles right in front of me, and I'm like, no, Ronnie, I can't do that. I'm not worthy, et cetera, et cetera. And in this last 2 years, there's been a shift where I'm like, okay, I think I'm coming back in the arena, so to speak, of broadcast. I talk about production with you quite a bit, but my first thing was always broadcast. And so then I'm like, ooh, I don't know, should I do it? I'm getting a little older. You know, it's always a hot, fresh young person, you know, who has a better opportunity.
Yeah.
But lately I've been getting that J-Lo spirit that I'm just like, well, I'm as worthy as the next person. So to the people that think she's whatever and don't like her, that's why I ride with her so much. Anyway.
No, and I agree, because here's the thing: is I think not to seem crass, right? But even like
crass?
no, not to seem crass, but as in a straight landman, I think one, physically she's hotter than she's ever been, and she's like, you know, obviously the oldest she's ever been because she's hotter now. But what I mean by that, well, not only in the superficial way, but in the professional way, I think is that the confidence of knowing who she is and the talent that she brings and the following that she brings and everything in between.
Yeah.
The recognition and the confidence that she knows what she has, and then fuck all that if you don't recognize it. I think that has an immense value to an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that in different levels that can apply to anybody else. You know what I mean? But to me, as a consumer of pop culture, today, I don't know what day it is. J-Lo is the biggest pop culture star anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Because if you really dissect, she's done everything. Everything. She had multi-million selling records as a musician, as a singer. She's done the biggest movies. She's done the highest rating TV shows. As an entrepreneur, she owns, TV networks. As a commercial personality, she's done commercials for the biggest brands. I mean, name it. She's done it all.
Yeah.
She's done it all.
And not to mention consistency.
You know what I mean? And it is a consistency for over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Hey, Ronnie Jr.